Hello, Laura Schwalm here with my Psychic Soul Healing Oracle deck, and I have a few other Oracle decks on the table. And we are going to do a reading for, I didn't even think, maybe just a general reading for anyone that lands on the page, okay? Now, for those of you that are new to the channel, my deck is a little bit different than all the other decks because my deck talks about the spiritual blocks. What is blocking you in your relationship, which means your behaviorisms, your habits, the things that you think that are unconscious. What is blocking you? So, which always has the darker elements of your relationship. And if we understand what they are, a lot of times we're able to integrate different holistic or spiritual practices that help us recondition, that help us think differently, which will help us act differently. So this channel is a healing channel. Now, anything that you guys want to know about me or the channel is going to be in the description box down below, like how to book a personal psychic soul reading. Just go to my website at pureenergyhealer.com. There you can read a lot about the different readings and healings and different things that I do. So anyone, again, that feels like they're continuously stuck in life, this is a channel for you. Now, again, this reading is going to be a general reading about souls. Again, so the person that you're thinking about, the person that is most on your mind. Now, our relationships tend to bring out the best and the worst of us, especially when they're soulmate twin flame relationships. They make us feel like that we can do anything, but on the same token, when we're having hardships within the relationship, it can drain us and make us feel miserable. We have no energy. We feel like we don't even have a reason to live. It feels like, again, that something's lost within us. So our relationships are a reflection of ourselves. So the first thing that we really want to look at is how can you strengthen the relationship that you have with your partner if you have a partner. Now, if you don't have a partner, we want to know what past issues are coming up in your that are blocking you from having someone come into your life. So again, I'm going to pull first from the Psychic Soul Healing Oracle deck. We're going to see what the actual block is. Okay, honor. So there's tend to maybe, again, not honor yourself, where you tend to put the other person first. Maybe you're an empath or a sensitive and you feel that in order to have a good relationship, you have to, again, ignore your needs or pay more attention to or care more about the other person in order to get the emotional needs that you're getting. That's what I'm feeling. And a lot of times, again, our soulmate twin flame relationships do that because we feel so connected to this person. We have such a deep love for this person that we think that it's spiritual. We know it's spiritual. We know that it's something that's important. And that's why we tend to honor it. But it's, again, we break the number one rule, which is a bit like abandoning ourselves. We have to give ourselves the love that we want to give this person first. A lot of times, if you want to attract your soulmate, you have to give yourself the love that you wish that your soulmate or twin flame gives to you. This is very important. Exquisiteness. By knowing who you are, by knowing, again, where you want your life, whether this person is in your life or not, where you want your life to go, what you want your life to look like first. And that means you have to put the energy towards what is going to grow you, what makes you unique. Again, and that's through where we're putting our time, our energy, our focus, and our money. That's our energy, our personal resources. Now, again, that gives us the overall energy of our blocks, okay? Like, again, maybe there's a little bit of codependency here because we don't know exactly what our soul's path is. Maybe we don't know who we are. So the first thing that we want to do if we have a problem within our relationships is make sure that we're giving ourselves the love and the honor, and that's through finding ourselves. Be like childlike, it says in the Bible, and it does so because children try different things. They're not afraid to do different things. They're not afraid of looking foolish or falling far behind. They just go out and they try. And through trying, they connect to different people. It sparks their imagination. When your imagination sparks, it brings you to the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of God. It's the place where you're able to create. It brings you to the creative genius within yourself. So you find your intuition. So you don't have to be afraid of, oh, what if I do it wrong? There is no such thing as wrong. We either grow, learn, evolve, or heal. Let's see what that has to say. Queen of Pentacles, stability. Again, so it is not uncommon within our relationships if we don't honor ourselves and we do not know, like, again, haven't found our exquisiteness, that we have a hard time maybe finding our financial freedom, our stability. Our stability is not just financial, but we tend to think of it first. So the block is actually that maybe one person needs emotional fulfillment, and they would, again, a lot of times confuse that with sexual connection instead of real emotional connection, where the other person needs, again, a lot of financial stability. They might assume that love is connected to their financial stability. So we have to look at that and say, is that what really attracts you to the person? Is that, and if it is, then you have to say to yourself, and if that person isn't giving you what you want, then you need to say, I need to cultivate that more in myself. And when you do, I guarantee that person will come more towards you. That's the way that it works. So you become a magnet of who you want. And you also release what you feel you need to have. And once you release what you feel that you need to have, again, you become a magnet of what it is that you really desire. And what you really desire, we hold it within our subconscious mind, along with our traumas. But if you're actually finding your exquisiteness, again, that's through the things that you love to do, and you're honoring yourself, then you will find your stability, again, in the past. So tend to also be able to look past the past. A lot of times, if we don't find ourselves and we don't change anything about ourselves, we might repeat the same thing. So what I'm feeling with what past issues are coming up is the fact that someone is either in a past relationship or trying to get out of a past relationship, and they don't really know how. And they don't know how because they're so focused on, how am I going to get there? And so what am I going to do? And a lot of times when you're trying to think so much from a mental perspective, you're going to really act more from an emotional standpoint. When meanwhile, you're trying to avoid acting from an emotional standpoint. You become out of balance. And so it might look like you're not coming from an emotional standpoint, but if you're not giving any emotion at all, you're really, again, the focus is on emotion, and you are not going to make the right decisions. So it's important to realize that is how we create the same experiences within love in our present relationships that have happened in our past relationships is because we haven't integrated the spiritual lesson yet. So what this is saying, there's a lot of fear within the relationship, both people that are thinking about each other, that they care about each other, but they're allowing whatever has transpired in the past to block them from actually taking the relationship further, it looks like. And then the reason why is, again, 10 of Wands, overload, like, and as I said, what happens? Your mind becomes to be in overdrive because you're continuously thinking, continuously trying to figure out what you have to do. But only in the now do you get divine guidance through gut intuition and a knowing, and that's through the Holy Spirit that resides inside you. That is how we really find stability. See, we're looking for stability, right? And we tend to think that stability is money, but really stability isn't. Stability is when we're strong within ourselves. And the only way that you can become strong within yourself is if you're really connected to spirit. Otherwise, again, you're always going to be overloaded with worries. So what's happening within this relationship is, again, there's a lot of karmic and spiritual lessons that are tied to this relationship. So you can feel the connection because the spiritual realm is through your mind and your heart. It's not the physical. So it's not what a person actually is doing, it's what you're feeling when you tap into them, or if you're actually just walking down the block or doing something else and all of a sudden you feel like them, that's their energy transfer onto you, meaning they're thinking about you. And that's, again, there's an emotional connection. You wouldn't be able to feel a person think about you, wouldn't know, oh, I knew I was going to see you today, or I knew that was Carol that called me, or have any of those synchronicities or understand the language of synchronicity if there wasn't an emotional connection. There has to be. It's, again, that's part of our energy body. This, again, is part of the etheric layer of your aura, the pain body. So if, again, we have a lot of spiritual blocks here, then we see what is preventing this relationship to go forward. So let's ask, what does the person need to do in order to fix their problem? Aside from finding themselves, again, which taking your mind off of a problem or a perceived problem and putting your mind onto a passion or something that interests you, or losing yourself in a book or something else, even a movie, will allow space for your divine guidance to come through. And you will be led. Okay, so then here's a cup, King of Cups, sensitivity. So again, part of sensitivity is honoring maybe what somebody else is going through. Maybe we're so caught up in, oh, my story, what I need, and we can't see what the other person is going through. But meanwhile, this is our soulmate. This is our twin flame. This is a person that we feel like is home. This is a person that we know is supposed to be in our life, but we're not going to have any sensitivity towards them. We're not going to have any compassion towards them. You're getting this person because they mirror you. And there are certain parts of you that need to be healed. So it's, again, we have to be sensitive to ourselves, yes. But there's a way. Again, being compassionate through speaking, through being honest and open and transparent. Because a lot of times the problem within our soulmate twin flame relationships, the block is no one wants to show their emotion. They feel like it's weak. They feel that they're weak. They feel, and on some level they would talk down. So the spiritual lesson is that they need to learn. They need to learn that it's okay to love. It's okay to let down their boundaries with people, that the only way to get love is to give love, is to open up your heart and to be transparent. Again, Page of Cups, altruism. Now is time for emotional and spiritual renewal. Again, that's what this is saying. And so it's, again, now is the time. So someone's thinking about it. Your person is thinking about it. Understand, God always wins. God is love. Your soulmates represent love. excuse me, represent love, represent unconditional love. That's why you're like, I hate this person, but I still love them. I'm still thinking about them. What's wrong with me? Am I crazy? I'm crazy. I'm crazy. Let's see. Are they going to make any moves towards you? Again, and whoever lands on this reading, by the way, is meant for you. This is timeless reading. That's how I'm going to do it. You know, it's for the shorts, I can do every zodiac, but otherwise it's anyone who lands on the channel. This is your message. Look for a sign, look for a sign. So it's, again, the person is looking for a sign. Is it okay for me to approach you? A lot of times, it's, again, when long periods of time and people are worrying, they're thinking about it. And it's, again, if a person's feeding it a lot of energy, unconsciously, they are going to do something. They're going to unconsciously look for signs and symbols everywhere from you. Now, that doesn't mean that you need to do anything. That means is that you need to be open to the idea, because again, everything starts with energy and spirit first. Have the intention. This way, when the person approaches you, you can approach them again with love and compassion, which is, again, what you're being taught, because somewhere you don't have love and compassion for yourself. Okay, there's something better. So understand too, that sometimes you might even feel like, hey, I already learned this spiritual lesson with this person. I can. And maybe you need to explore that. It's important to say, maybe it's time to explore that, but I never predict a person's future. I let a person figure out what's best for them. A lot of times with soulmate twin flame relationships, we feel like we can't. That's why there's that I'm on, I'm off, I'm here, I'm there, I want to give it a chance, I don't want to give it a chance. It's that, again, you feel like you're crazy. And it's because you need to master something within yourself. You need to heal something within yourself. And this person is coming towards you. And sometimes that is telling the person, I feel like there's somebody better. You didn't treat me right. So let's see what the person feels now. They were, again, this doesn't mean that they're going to take action. I want to know, like, again, what they feel about the situation. We're just going to pull from anywhere. And it says, I want to make this work, which is exactly what I felt. So their actions are showing you that they don't want to make it work. And it may look like what they do. Look at intention. Don't look at what they do. Look at intention and try to look at intention. I mean, you have to look at what a person does. Don't get me wrong. And you have to protect yourself by, again, setting appropriate boundaries. You should know what the person's capable of and always protect yourself first. But if you feel that you have to pursue this, which a lot of soulmate twin flame relationships do, it's just, and if the person wants to make it work, we have to say, well, what is their intention and what is the actual execution of this person? Because a lot of times they just don't know how to act. And there's things called psychological reversals where a person does the exact opposite of what they want to achieve. And we can have this in business, we can have this in relationships, and we can say, how did that person do that? Why would that person do that? Does that make any sense at all? And we could say, absolutely not. It doesn't make any sense at all. And we might even get mad at them. Trigger it because it triggers us. It's like, how do you not know? I don't believe that you don't know. I believe that you should. But the truth of the matter is a thing called scared stupid, where we can't think. I cannot give you what you want or deserve. I'm sorry. So this person wants to make it work, but they also feel on the same token that they can't give you what you want, which is, again, a lot of times that we're just in this phase of a spiritual battle within ourselves. So this is where your person is within the relationship. They're fighting within themselves, which is, again, a lot of times we feel like we can control love. Men tend to feel like they can control love, but love is unconditional. Love cannot be controlled. It cannot be manipulated. There's no ownership. It's unconditional. It's God. It's of everything. You can feel it. When we have parents that do things that we feel like they shouldn't, but we still love them. Or someone that we really love and then they hurt us, but we still feel like we still love them. And we're like, why? And it's because we have unconditional love. They're part of our soul family. They were supposed to come into our life to teach us. But that doesn't mean that we're supposed to be in the relationship all the time, especially if there's something better, if we're being told that there's something better. It means that you need to, again, feed your own passions. It goes back to the beginning of the reading, which was what said, find your exquisiteness, which is find your passion. Invest in yourself, love yourself, give yourself that love, because that person's going to come to you and you're going to have the opportunity to tell this person yes or no. I wish I could have leisure coffee talk with you again. So there's a sense of like, I wish I could find a middle ground, which inevitably that's what soulmates eventually do. They learn to compromise because it's like, I can't live with you. I can't live without you. It's like, I want to just walk away. I just want, so again, but where the person is they're not taking any action because there's no action cards that on the table here. It's just a desire. But understand, don't underestimate the seeds of, thought and the emotions. Again, where a person is continuously thinking about another person. So again, we form cords. Those cords are, again, emotional and mental. And it's a sense of comfort, there's a sense of home, there's a sense of, and we feed it, it feels familiar. And there's only really of imagination in this realm, because it doesn't mean the person knows you. But that's the catalyst for a person to change. That's the catalyst for a person to take action. It's again, thought and emotion. Well, let's see any further advice before I close out this reading. Collaborate. Maybe find, again, something to do together. Maybe you should offer to go out with this person, but do something. Have a plan, like go play miniature golf, go take a hike, go to a movie. It's not about sex. It's not about, fast. It's about forming a relationship, a bond, emotional bond. If a person can't do that, they're not going to want to stick around longer than, the sex. If the sex gets boring, you become familiar, they want something else. Again, person needs to form that emotional bond, and that's through playing together, maybe creating something together. Again, the focus then isn't on what am I saying, what are you saying, what do I feel off you, what are you feeling off me? No. It's we're looking to where we want to go, what we're doing, what we're creating. We're grounded in this situation, which means what we're in the here and we're in the now. And secret. It's again that don't hold secrets, but I would also say the secret is that connection that you have with this person, that this love, it's again, that's because the secrets are things that we hold deep within ourselves, close to our heart. But so understand, when you feed that, it's you're feeding your thoughts. There's also maybe you feel that the other person holds secrets, so we don't want to become paranoid. So we won't be paranoid again if we're playing together, if we're making something together, if we're creating and making experiences and memories together, that we're not going to be again so focused on what we feel, because again, people feel differently from second to second within relationships. And they could be just thinking about something personal within their own life or something that happened during the day that they didn't like. And if you're are insecure, you're gonna take it like they mean something towards you, that you're feeling like some discord towards you when there really isn't. It's just that that person is maybe processing something through the day, or maybe it is something that you said and maybe they did get triggered but they didn't react. And it's okay for your person to have their feelings and their emotions. A lot of times when we have all this trauma, where we think that, again, relationships are overload and we're stuck in our past, and we're not honoring ourselves, that we're getting caught up in the drama, and the drama that's not necessary. So I hope this is helpful for you. Again, so that person that you're feeling, if you're not in a relationship with them, again, I suggest that you should approach this person and offer them to go out on a date, do something together, can experience something together, whether that's a hike, a walk, whatever. And for those of you that are connected, it's about being compassionate, and realizing that everyone has traumas, that it's not all about you. And that if you're grounded and you guys are doing things together and playing together, the focus isn't all on that. Relationships that play together stay together, and it's all about that. It's about looking to where you want to go, not where you're afraid to go, which the subconscious mind will take over if you're not grounded. So leave a comment down below. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, check out my merchandise, and until next time, bye.